Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is going to be another classic movie review for you guys. And this time, I'm going to be reviewing to you a movie that I've been wanting to see for such a long time. I told you guys there were two movies that I've wanted to see like crazy. Almost Famous, and also this movie. Almost Famous I already reviewed to you guys. If you guys want to check out that review, you can. But, you know, this movie was a movie that I want to see so much. I heard it's one of the best movies of all time. One of the best movies that deals with romance and beauty and things like that. And I heard so many good reviews about it, won so many awards. And that movie is the 1999 dramedy classic, American Beauty. I have wanted to see this movie for such a long time. I'm not kidding how long I've wanted to see it. I want to see it since, like, last year. Yeah, I was not actually, allowed to see it last year, because, like, my parents said I couldn't, but whatever. But, now I can see it, because now they don't care what I watch, pretty much. Well, they do care what I watch, but long story, but, basically, I just finally watched American Beauty. I, came on to HBO Go today. I was so excited, literally, for today. I was so excited to review this movie to you guys, and I was really looking forward to it. And I finally watched American Beauty, and overall, what did I think of American Beauty? American Beauty is a fucking masterpiece. I mean, this movie is absolutely fantastic. I loved every minute of it. Everything was so amazing in this movie. This movie has no problems at all. It is a little slow-paced, but I like that it's slow-paced. I like that it has elements of comedy, elements of drama. That's one of the best things about the movie. Everything is amazing in the movie. The story was amazing, and I love this movie to death. It is one of my favorite classic movies ever reviewed to you guys, and probably one of my favorite movies of all time. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. Let's talk about what this movie's about. This movie is pretty much an ensemble cast. It does have a bunch of different storylines. Basically, this movie centers on two families. You have the Burnhams, and you have the Fitzes. Now, the Burnhams are this middle-class family. They are living, they've been living together, but you have this guy Lester and his wife Carolyn, and their relationship is not exactly going very well. It's not really going very well. She doesn't like to have sex with him. She doesn't even like to be affectionate, doesn't even want to kiss him. I mean, she's completely against that, and their daughter is very much an outcast. She really doesn't care what people think of her. She's really going down a dark road, and, what's happening is that Lester starts fantasizing about his daughter's best friend when he goes to this cheerleading thing that his daughter is doing. Meanwhile, his wife starts to cheat on him with this other guy, Buddy, and she does that specifically because she's sick of Lester and wants nothing to do with him, really. And then you have the Fitzes. Now, the Fitzes are this really, really big family, and the Fitzes consist of Ricky, who is this guy that is stalking Jane, and actually becomes very good friends with Lester, and he really likes Jane, and he actually ends up taking a liking to her, and, that's his plot. But then you also have Chris Cooper, Chris Cooper's character, Colonel Fitz, who's a very conservative father, very conservative, very much against gays and things like that. And, we think that is. His father is very conservative and things like that. And then you have his mother, who pretty much has no role in the house whatsoever. She is literally terrified of his father. And that's pretty much what the movie's about. It's a bunch of different storylines, and one of the coolest things about the storylines, it's really cool to see how all of these storylines fit together so well. And that's one of the things I loved about the movie, was the way the storylines fit together. But let's just get into the movie. Let's first talk about, what is there to talk about first? I mean, this movie's amazing. I mean, I don't know what to talk about first. Let's talk about the acting. The acting is part of the reason why this movie is so good. I mean, the acting is absolutely fantastic. A lot of amazing, memorable performances here. There's not one performance in this movie that's bad. I can't find any performance that's bad in this movie, and that's a really good thing. Our main star here is Kevin Spacey. He plays Lester, and wow, he is amazing. After this movie, Kevin Spacey is definitely one of my favorite actors, and it really makes me really want to watch House of Cards. Like, I really want to watch House of Cards really soon, because the more movies I see with Kevin Spacey, the more I want to see House of Cards, and this is by far my favorite performance from him. By far his best performance, in my opinion. I mean, he did everything right with this role. You really cared about his character, even though he was kind of a pedophile, sort of. Even though he was kind of, like, obsessed with his daughter's best friend, you didn't care because he was such a good character, and you really cared about his character, you really rooted for his character. He's one of the few characters in the movie that is actually happy throughout most of the movie. You know, you really want everything to be good between him and his wife, you want that to work out for him. You just really care about his character, and that's one of the things I really liked about Kevin Spacey's character. Yeah, so he was definitely fantastic. Annette Bening played his wife, Carolyn, and she's absolutely fantastic as well. I loved how much of a control freak her character was. Like, she's literally a control freak. She wants everything, you know, she wants to be the perfect household, she wants everything to be perfect, you know, she wants the perfect furniture, the perfect, she has a perfect life, pretty much, you know, she is very good, you know, this is a really good family. They have 2 jobs, they have 2 cars, they live in a very good, house, you know, they have a daughter and everything. It's like, what more could she want? She's kind of upset by and I'll talk about what's going on there, but I really liked her character. I liked how, like, crazy her character was, you know. She definitely played a very good character, and I really liked her acting. Her acting was amazing in this movie. Thora Birch as their daughter Jane, very, very good. I was surprised how much I liked her character. I mean, her character was definitely very, very good, and she's one of the few characters in the movie that, you know, she's one of the few characters in the movie that doesn't have that many problems. I mean, what was interesting is that Ricky actually did end up, you know, she did end up falling for Ricky, and Ricky kind of was the one that saved her. You know, Wes Bentley as Ricky Fitz, I thought he was definitely one of the best by far. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Just such a good performance from him. I don't know what else this guy has done. I don't think he has done anything else besides this movie, but he was absolutely fantastic in this movie. Mina Suvari as Angela. I loved her character. I loved how, you know, her character seemed very stereotypical in the first few minutes. Like, when her character's on screen, you feel like you're watching kind of like a chick flick when her character's on screen, just because the way it's, like, done, the way they did that, it made you feel like you were watching sort of like a chick flick. But the way her character was done, she was kind of like, I really like the way her character was done, where she was, like, very, like, slutty, but she wasn't like that at all, and I'll talk about why, but I really liked her character a lot. I thought she definitely was very well done, in my opinion. Just a really great character. Also very hot. I mean, definitely very, very hot. They've casted the perfect girl, definitely. She's in a third of, she's one of the most important parts of the movie, but she's in, like, a third of the movie, and that's pretty much because she's a supporting role, but she's a very important supporting role, definitely, even though she's not in that much of the movie. I'd say she's more in the first half than she is in the second half. In the first half, she's in, like, every scene. The second half, she's gone for a little while, and then she comes back at the end, and I thought her character was definitely very, very good. Chris Cooper as Ricky's dad, Colonel Fitz. Absolutely fantastic. I loved his character. I loved everything about his character. I loved how conservative he was. I really liked how, you know, he and his son did not have a good relationship. I've seen Chris Cooper in one other movie, and that's The Muppets. Definitely his best performance from what I've seen. He was probably the second best performance in my opinion. He was absolutely fantastic. Just amazing. Allison Janney, I thought her character was good, and Peter Gallagher as Buddy, his character was good as well. Not much to say there, though. But that's pretty much what I thought of the acting. The acting was absolutely fantastic. In fact, it gave them a lot of awards. The film did win Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Original Screenplay, and Best Cinematography. And let's get to all those things. First of all, the directing. The director is Sam Mendes, and he did an amazing job directing, in my opinion. Definitely, this movie deserved Best Picture. I mean, really, it really did. He did an amazing job directing, in my opinion. Like, the way he wanted to construct this movie was so, so well done. The first few minutes of the movie, like, I'd say, like, the first 20 minutes, it's pretty much a straight-up comedy. It's just pretty funny, and it's like a black comedy in the first 20 minutes. It's not, you know, it's like really dark humor, but it's really well done the way he executed that, and just the message he was trying to get across, you know, the way he did it, the tone he set perfectly for the movie, like, he just did the perfect way. It was meticulously directed, in my opinion. The way he did the movie, he knew what he was doing. It was absolutely amazing, and I fucking loved it. I mean, I fucking loved his directing. He was absolutely amazing. Just, he did such an awesome job. Definitely, he was by far one of the best performances in the movie. Sorry, someone is FaceTiming me. Yeah, so he was by far one of the best performances in the movie. He was absolutely fantastic. I mean, just he did such a great job directing. Let's get to the writing in the movie. The writing for me, I thought was very, very good. I really love the writing to this movie, especially towards the end. The ending of the movie with like all the twists, which I'll get to when we get to the analysis. I mean, they did a great job with the writing. The writing was absolutely fantastic. They knew what they were doing. They knew what direction they were going in. I thought the writing was absolutely fantastic. The cinematography, oh my god, the cinematography was fantastic in this movie. Cinematography was absolutely beautiful in this movie, especially the shots where Lester was fantasizing about Angela. Like, the way those scenes were portrayed with the flowers, I thought that was a very unique approach, the way they did that. I mean, the way he just had these crazy fantasies about her with those flowers, I thought, there's that iconic scene where you see her lying in, like, I'd say like a pool of flowers, and she's just lying down there, and you figure out why we see that, a little later in the movie, and I thought that was a good twist that we kind of found out why he was having these visions of her. That was definitely very well done, and the editing was absolutely fantastic as well. This movie went by so quickly. I was watching the movie, and I'm like, it's already over? Oh, I was upset when the movie was over because I was really into the movie, and that's something that's really good. When you're upset that a movie is over because you're really into it, that means that they did their job. When you're upset that a movie is over, I mean, in my opinion, the movie is just the length that it needs to be. If it was any longer, it would not be as good, but I was kind of upset when the movie was over. I was like, oh, I'm into this. Why does it have to be over? I mean, definitely very, very good in that part. I really enjoyed it. Alright, now we're going to get into some spoiler territory. If you guys have not seen American Beauty, not only am I going to do spoilers, but I'm also going to do a big analysis about quite a few things. So this is going to be probably, I thought this analysis, I didn't think I'd have to analyze this movie, but then as the ending came, I was like, yes, I do need to analyze it. So let's talk a little bit about it. Alright, so the biggest spoiler in the movie. Now, let's talk about a few of the spoilers. Now, we're going to get into analysis/spoilers. I kind of read something about this. Now, someone said this, and I kind of agree. The three most damaged characters in the movie, the characters that the movie's kind of about, the beauty that people are kind of like obsessed with the idea of beauty and the perfect, being perfect and everything. Especially Carolyn. She's very, obsessed with being perfect and having the perfect lifestyle, the perfect family. I mean, there's that scene, of course, where, her husband's trying to get intimate with her, and she's like, no, don't get beer on the couch. She gets upset over that. I mean, she just is so obsessed with having everything to be perfect. She's like one of those people that's like, we have to have the perfect society. She's constantly competing with everyone, and no one's competing with her. There's no contest. She just wants everything to be perfect, and I really thought that was very interesting about her character. The other character that's very damaged is definitely Frank. I loved the twist with Frank. When we found out that he was gay, when he kissed Lester, my jaw dropped. I thought that was probably the most surprising twist in the entire movie, in my opinion. I mean, that was the moment my jaw was like, holy shit, that's an awesome twist. I mean, he turned out to be gay, and he kissed Lester. I thought that was such a great twist, in my opinion. I absolutely love that twist, and the thing about it is that he's hiding it from everyone, though. That's the thing. He's hiding it. He's hiding the fact that he does support gay people. He's hiding it because he does not think it's right that he is gay, and I thought that was definitely very interesting, that the reason he's, so mean to them is because he actually is gay, and he thinks it's wrong that he is, probably because the family he grew up in. I mean, think about it, we don't know much about his family or the life he grew up in, so maybe the life he grew up in, maybe his father was also very conservative, and was completely against the idea of him being gay. We don't really know, because we don't really find out what happened there after that. The last scene we see of him, he kisses him, and now let's talk about what I think happened after that. I'm pretty sure that he was the one that killed Lester. I'm pretty sure, because think about it, he had the blood on his shirt, he took a gun away, he pretty much killed Lester, because he did not get what he wanted from Lester. He was actually in love with Lester the whole time, we find out. He was basically in love with him the whole time, and because Lester was not gay like he wanted him to be, he killed him because he was pretty much damaged because he was not happy with the lifestyle that he had, that he was gay, and he was not happy that Lester did not love him in return. The other character that's very damaged is definitely Angela. In my opinion, Angela, is probably the most surprising out of the three. I mean, definitely the Colonel was also very surprising, but She was definitely the most damaged, in my opinion. She seemed to be like this slut, as I said, in some scenes when you see her, you feel like you're watching sort of like a chick flick. She reminded me very much of Mean Girls, like the way she acted, very much like one of the Mean Girls. But then we find out that she's basically a virgin, she's hiding it from everyone, because everyone is so into her. Everyone has this beauty to her, and I mean, that's one of the great things I loved about the movie, is the twist that she is actually a virgin. The way they did that with us thinking that she, had sex with all these other guys, and then we find out that she's actually a virgin. Very well done the way that was done. I thought that was absolutely amazing the way that was done. That was definitely very, very good. Now, the other thing, of course, is we see Carolyn, she loads a gun. She goes into her house and she starts crying. I think what was going to happen was she was going to go into that house and kill Lester because she was sick of him. She wanted nothing to do with him, and she was going to go in there because she was sick of him, and she wanted to be with Buddy. That's what she was happy with, and she wanted to be with him. And secretly, she really did not love Lester, and she just couldn't admit that she was not in love with her husband. That's what she couldn't admit. She was not in love with him, and that's all it was, that she was not in love with him. Also, the other thing I want to analyze is, of course, the ending, when we find out that the reason he saw, Angela and, like, that pile of flowers, that one scene, is because he used to do that when he was a younger boy. He would, look up at the sky, and that's what gives him beauty. And, the real message of the movie is that it's not about really just beauty as in love, it's beauty as in how you feel about yourself. How you feel about yourself, how, you think of yourself, because think about it. Those three characters do not think that they are, they do not like the way they look. For example, and Jane as well. Jane's sort of damaged as well because she does not like the way she looks. Lester, he's trying to lose weight. No one in this movie is happy with the way they look, and I think that's part of what the movie's really about. It's not just about the people that they love, it's about their physical appearance and the way that they are. They're not happy with themselves. There's not one character in this movie that's happy. Well, okay, there is Ricky. Ricky is happy with himself because I've heard a lot of people say Ricky is actually the hero in this movie, and I definitely agree. He basically, he told Angela that she was, was just ordinary, and I thought that was definitely very interesting, the way he did that. I mean, definitely that was very, very interesting. I love the way that scene worked out when he just said, "You're ordinary." I mean, that was so well done, in my opinion. The way he did that was just so well done, and just that was like the first time in the movie where you really saw someone turn down Angela and actually be mean to her, and I think what he was trying to say to her was that that she is hiding it. He could tell that she was hiding it, and the part where she says she wasn't really friends with Jane, it makes perfect sense because there was not one point in the movie she was a good friend to Jane. Most of the time she was just basically just talking about herself, and that was it. I mean, she was very self-centered because she was not happy with herself, and that's pretty much what the movie was about. As I said, the movie is pretty much about self-expression and how they feel about themselves, and it might seem like that doesn't make sense, but think about every single character in the movie. Every single character in the movie is trying to change themselves, and some of them for the better. For example, Lester, by, losing weight, he becomes more happy with himself. He becomes more, feels like he is on top of the world after that. Jane by stripping in front of, stripping in front of, I can't remember his name now, stripping in front of Ricky, the way that was done, that made her feel, more happy about herself, the way that was done. Her having Ricky made her feel more happy about herself. Angela, after talking to Lester, I mean, and especially, after he found she was a virgin and he treated her like a father, it was like, okay, he's doing the right thing here. He's realizing this can't go on for any longer. Those characters, they had a happy ending. But Carolyn and, Frank, they did not have a happy ending at all because they're just not happy with the way their lifestyle is, and they just want to change it immediately. But that's basically it for my analysis of American Beauty and also my review of American Beauty. I really enjoyed this movie. This is, by the way, I just realized this is my longest movie review of all time. But yeah, I encourage all of you to see this movie. And if you watch one movie, and by the way, guys, this is not a movie about romance. Not a movie about romance. You look at this cover, it looks like a movie about romance. It is not a movie about romance. It's a movie about your own beauty, and sort of like your own beauty and your inner self, and how you feel about yourself. Not only just beauty as in the person you like, but how you feel about yourself as well. That's what I think the movie's really about, and I think that's the message they were trying to get across. And that's why it's known as a classic today. Everyone knows American Beauty, everyone remembers American Beauty, and everyone really needs to see American Beauty because it is an amazing movie. But that's basically it for my review of American Beauty. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be for another classic movie review. So I'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.